Go to the Zoom machine and say hello to our first guest of the day. Very excited to talk to the 24-year-old Jeff Molina, who everyone, the viral sensation Jeff Molina, who everyone's talking about right now in the world of MMA. Big win for him, remains undefeated in the UFC, a name to watch out for in the flyweight division. Congratulations on the win, Jeff. How are you?
Ariel, my man. I told you this last night, but I've been a fan of yours for a pretty long time now. What you created on this platform is awesome. And I'm stoked to be on here talking to you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And thank you for that. I appreciate it very much. Congratulations to you on the big win. By the way, have you rewatched the fight? And do you feel like you won? Because, of course, the elephant in the room is it appeared as though you walked off thinking that you had lost, that you weren't going to get the judge's nod. Do you feel any differently on this Monday?
Man, I've watched that fight at least 10, 15 times now. I'm my world's biggest critic. I'm the same way after every fight. I do think I won that fight. I think the first and third rounds were mine. As far as me walking away at the end of the decision, I've been on the shit end of the stick of a split decision before. And I think maybe that was just the pessimist in me thinking they gave it to the other guy. At the end of the fight, I thought I won. I thought I'd done enough. I do remember getting clipped in the second, so I gave him the second just off damage. But I felt that the biggest criteria in the sport is damage. In the first and third round, I had that. And he was holding me against the fence. He came to hold me. I came to fight. And I think that's why I walked away with the win.
All right. And of course, your opponent, Zhalgas Zhumagulov, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. A tough, hard-fought battle. It seemed like afterwards you weren't happy, though. Like you weren't happy with your performance. I know earlier in the week you said it would be your best performance, finish, all that stuff. Do you feel better about the performance now on the Monday?
No. To be honest, I don't, brother. Frustrated with how I showed up that night, or that day, I should say. We fought early as shit, dude.
Yeah.
Let your boy drink some coffee before he gets into a fist fight, man. Our report time was 8 a.m. in the hotel lobby. Cut, mouthpiece, ready to rock. Yeah, still frustrated at the performance, man. I feel like just an off day. You know, I felt like whatever. It wasn't my best performance. I'm going to get better from this, man. I feel like Zhalgas doesn't have the best track record inside the UFC, but the dude's good, man. He's got some big wins outside the UFC. He's got wins over Ulanbekov, Bagatinov, Tyson Nam. Two of those guys are UFC staples today in the flyweight division, and those were 5-round fights. So I feel like he hasn't had the best track record in the UFC, but it doesn't take away from what he's done in the sport. And the guy's good, man. The guy's good, and he came with a good game plan. I'm just frustrated with my inability to break the body lock. The dude's strong against the fence, but I think the judges had it right, man. I came to fight. He came to hold me, and kudos to him. It's a smart game plan, and I'm going to get better from this.
By the way, the early start time, did you spar early in the morning to try to get used to fighting that early?
No, not really, but I didn't even know it was early start time until about 2 weeks out. So I guess like we practiced at 10 a.m. anyway. So 8 a.m. Vegas time would be 10 a.m. Kansas City time. So it's not too big of a difference, but as far as like mapping out like when you want to eat in the morning, like we had to wake up at like 5:30 to make breakfast, just to make sure like we had something in our bodies before going to the venue. Little things like that. It's not that big of a deal. I'm just bitching, but come on, man, let your boy drink some coffee before he gets to a fist fight.
Here on the East Coast, we like that early start time very much, but I totally get it.
I'm sure.
Now I have to say, Jeff, I have some friends who know that I cover MMA for a living, obviously, but aren't MMA fans at all. A couple of them sent me the clip of you speaking at the post-fight press conference saying, I know nothing of this sport, I don't watch it, but this is my new favorite fighter, speaking of you, based on what you said. And we're going to get into all of that. And I'm just curious what the last 72 or so hours have been like for you, because I saw the clip that Junkie posted. It has over 1 million views now, and that's not typical for a fight night press conference. So if we could go back to the beginning of this, you decide at the beginning of the week, they let you with the kit choose what you want, and you chose the Pride colors because it's Pride Month, correct?
Yeah, something along those lines. I get an email about a week or two out from the fight, probably 2 weeks from the fight, saying, hey, for Pride Month, we're allowing fighters, if they'd like, to get the rainbow vinyl on their shorts and fight kit. So the hoodie and the shirt would also come with the rainbow vinyl. I saw that email. I texted my manager. I said, hell yeah, let's get the rainbow vinyl. Because I thought it looked cool first and foremost. You know, I thought changing it up. I've had the same black shorts for the last 2 fights, whatever. And let's change the color of the vinyl first and foremost. Second of all, it's a good cause. It's Pride Month. And yeah, I was for it. So I texted House. He texted me back with like an LOL. Yeah, let's do it. And that was that.
Okay. And so you get there, you get your stuff, all good. I believe you tweeted about it, and then you had to send out a subsequent tweet because you were getting some love from people who I guess, were in support, but then you were also getting some hate leading up. What was it? Like if you could break it down 50-50, 60-40, the love, hate, what were you getting when you tweeted
Dude,
about the picture?
It was strange. It was strange, Ariel, because I thought of something so
simple.
Like nonchalant,
Yeah.
simple, like minuscule, just like, dude, check out my shorts, there's a rainbow coloring on it, this is cool that the UFC is doing this for Pod Fun, right? And then I didn't look at my phone for a couple hours. I try not to be on my phone too much for fight week. And then I look at my phone and the comments are like split, right? Like, no, actually not really. The comments were pretty much all pretty hateful. Like there was a couple narratives in the comments of like, man, the UFC is just doing this to exploit. It's a business tactic. They're doing this for money. They don't really care. Blah blah blah. And the other parts were, man, you support gay people, you're gonna burn in hell. Allah will make sure you burn in hell, or God will make sure you burn in hell. And dude, I'm telling you, there's like dozens and dozens of these, and like they get like, dude, people were like, you should get cut from the UFC for supporting faggots and like there was a lot of those, man. And I was like, dude, like I wanted some rainbow vinyl on my shorts, and that was coming in. And then I looked over to the DMs. My DMs on Twitter, man, were like about split with the love and hate.
Yeah.
And from the love side, it was like a lot of guys that were like, hey, man, I didn't know you rolled that way. I think you're cute. Like, and then on the other side, it was more of the same hateful, spiteful things. And I felt like I just had to address it because I was genuinely shocked, brother, by like, I know what Twitter is, man. Like I'm a young kid. I grew up with the internet. I grew up on Xbox live chats. I can handle the hateful comments, man. They don't bother me really at all. I just felt like I had to address it in a following tweet of just like, hey guys, I'm a heterosexual male. I am straight. I appreciate the love. I'm flattered. I really am, man. People think I'm good looking. Let's go. Yeah. I'll take it, man. DC at my debut weigh-ins said I'm not the most attractive flyweight in the UFC. Wow. He said that. He's like, I don't see it at all. I don't think he's that attractive. He said that verbatim. So to get some love from men all over the world saying I'm a handsome guy, I'll take it. But I felt like I had to address it, that I'm supporting the cause, but I'm not a part of the gay community. But more power to you, man. Like all love here. And then on the other side was the hateful, spiteful shit I was receiving. And it's just like, I didn't think it would result in the amount of, and I understand this is Twitter, man. I understand these are random accounts from all over the world. And some of these guys don't have any followers. Some of these guys don't have a profile picture. They're just burner accounts. But it was just, I feel like I had to be addressed, like, to those that are saying this hateful shit, like, you guys aren't on your own are the problem here. You know, like, you guys are what's wrong with the world.
And so did you consider not wearing it after you got that leading up to the fight?
Absolutely not. No. Okay. No. If anything, I wanted to get a bigger vinyl after that, man. Like, man, yeah, no, that thought didn't even cross my mind.
Okay, and then you get to the post-fight press conference after the hard-fought battle, and you go deep into this, and that's the clip that has gone viral. What has the reaction been to that? Because I've seen, and I'm looking, from afar. I'm not as deep into it as you are, but I saw you getting a lot of love after that. I saw a lot of people quote tweeting saying, I love this guy. This is my new favorite fighter. Are you feeling that as well? Or are you getting a ton of hate as well?
Man, I've been getting both sides of it.
Okay, still.
And that's fine, man. Like I said earlier, the hate doesn't bother me, man, at all. It's more shocking than anything. But yeah, it's been cool I've had a ton of, I'm trying to get back to everybody on Instagram and Twitter. Anytime I have some free time, I'll get back to people reaching out. But it's really cool, man. Man, I was asked a question at the press conference. I think it was the second to last question, or maybe the last question. And it was like, hey, let's talk about the shorts real quick. And it wasn't something that I had thought of or like planned on talking about, but it was asked. And honestly, it just, I just spoke what I was thinking. And what's weird, Ariel, is like, I feel like I'm being appreciated for something I shouldn't be appreciated for, if that makes sense.
I get it.
And I'm not trying to backtrack on anything I said. I spoke 100% from the heart. I meant exactly what I said, but it's like being applauded for saying like murder is wrong. It's like this should just be common. Like rape is wrong. Racism is wrong. Being hateful towards someone for who they love is wrong. And who the fuck cares, man, at the end of the day? And that's the only thing that makes me feel weird about this whole situation. And at first, like I wasn't retweeting any of those, the people that would retweet the video, just because like I understand that it's a community that's been marginalized and oppressed, and that's why I said what I said. But at the same time, it's like I know I have a platform as a fighter, fighting for the UFC for the biggest organization in the world. But at the same time, it's I feel weird being appreciated for something that should just be fucking like just common decency, just being a human being, just not hating someone else for something they can't control. And that's why I said what I said. And I was surprised by it turning into like almost a small viral video that went around Twitter and Instagram. But that's the only weird feeling I have from it, is just the feeling of being appreciated for being a fucking decent human is almost bothersome, if that makes sense. But
no, I couldn't agree more. Very well said on your part. What you said on Saturday was very well said as well. But like you're saying, you're being applauded for, and I couldn't agree more with everything you said, for saying something like, oh, breathing air or drinking water is good for you. I think to most sane-minded people, it's an obvious, but you see a story like the Tampa Bay Rays and their players. I don't know if you saw that story yesterday where they didn't want to wear it. And it's now makes what you did and what you said even that much more impactful, and says a hell of a lot more about you, an athlete in the public eye, willing to do this because you think it's just the right thing to do. So I give you a lot of props. I do want to ask you about a guy named Muhammad Mokaev, who went in my DMs today and said, ask this man, Jeff Molina, about me. I want him next. Now, Muhammad has a fight against Charles Johnson on July 23rd, so not to look past him. But for whatever reason, he really wants to fight you. How do you feel about fighting Mokaev if he gets past Charles?
I love it, man. I love getting all these called outs. Ode Osborne called me out on Saturday night as well, or Saturday morning, I should say. I love it, man. October is the timeline I'm looking at. Me and Mokaev are going to cross paths in the future. I guarantee it, man. Another part of being here talking to you was I didn't want the conversation I said in the post-fight conference to be the reason I'm here talking to you. I wanted to be, when I talked to Ariel Helwani the first time, it's because of the work I put in the last 10 years of my life, because I dedicated my sport to this life. I dedicated my life to the sport, and it's because I'm good, man. It's because I'm 3-0 in the UFC. I'm young. I get better every day, and I wanted that to be the reason I'm talking to you.
And by the way, it is
not
the reason.
Anything else.
It is the reason. I mean, I won't lie. That piqued my interest more. But when the great Ed Cap, who works for Jason House, the PR
he's the man,
guru, I love that guy. No one does the job better than him. When he asked me if I wanted to have you on, I hadn't even seen your comments yet, for the record. So I just want to. Then I saw them. I was like, oh damn. This will be even greater. I'm really happy he's on. But I just want to let you know it was because of the stuff you said earlier in the week, and also because of how good, and I like your vibe. El Jefe, you're fun, man. You're really fun, and you're great for the division. So I just want to let you know that's why I want to ask you about Muhammad and other stuff. It's not just about your comments, which I think are great in their own right. And if that was the only reason, it would be great as well. But it's about what you've been doing and how you've progressed as a fighter.
Thank you, bro. As far as the fight, man, yeah, we're going to cross paths in the future. I tell my manager this. I tell Krause this, my head coach. If they like it, I like it. I'll say yes to anything they like. So if they say yes, I tell them to sign for me. Like They don't even have to talk to me about the fight. Tell me the date. Tell me when I got to be there, and tell me who I'm fighting. That's it. Me and him will cross paths. It's inevitable, man. I really think I'm gonna be a world champ someday, and I get better every single day after every fight. I know I'm gonna get better from this fight. I've already leveled up, I feel like, and I'm going to be a world champ someday, Ariel. I'm going to hold that belt one day. That's all I want. That's my one goal, is for one night to hold that belt. And I feel like I'm going to do that. So me and Mokaev will see each other, man. He's a young guy. I'm a young guy. If, I'll see Mokaev sometime in the future.
Okay. And we'll play this clip when you win that belt and tell everyone that
Let's go.
All those years ago. By the way, I read an article about you in UFC.com or on UFC.com where you talked about this dark place that you like to go to before your fights. Can you tell us about this dark place? What does it feel like? What does it look like?
Man, fighting is such a weird sport. There's a lot of like emotions that come into it, and on fight week, there's the last place a fighter wants to be is in their own head for the most part. That's why it's on the people you bring out with on fight week to kind of keep your mind busy and kind of just keep you out of your own head. But there's times where you want to be in your own head, and leading up to the fight, especially that last 4 weeks, man, I really like to get into that dark place, man. I like to think violent thoughts, and that's just what fighting is. You know, at the end of the day, it's a one-on-one competition, and some guy's trying to hurt you, and that's how he wins. And you're trying to do the same to him. And that dark place is just, you know, something that I let my mind go to when I'm on a run or on fight week and I'm sitting in my room. On fight week, there's times where I want to be with my teammates, chopping it up, watching Netflix. And then there's times where I just kind of want to be in my own thoughts, thinking of the fight, trying to visualize every possible scenario of the fight. Me getting dropped, me shooting into a single leg to clinch up, to recover, me dropping him, and the finishing sequences. And that's the dark place I like to get into, man. And really it's just another word for visualization. But, you know, there's some violent thoughts. You know, I'm thinking of throwing a tomahawk elbow and opening an Xbox logo on his forehead. Like those are thoughts that are going to my head on fight week and leading up to a fight. And, you know, like I don't want to be having these like lovey-dovey thoughts, talking to like the girl I'm talking to, or even like having, like, I'm going into a war, you know, like this guy's literally trying to hurt me. He's trying to inflict pain and damage and take a dream away from me. And I'm trying to do the same to him, man. So yeah, that's the dark place I'm talking about. It just makes it sound cooler than calling it visualization, but that's what that is.
Could I ask about your father? You told us last year that he was battling cancer. How's he doing now?
He's all right, brother. He's still recovering. Yes, leading up to my debut, he got diagnosed with kidney cancer, which sucked. You know, obviously that's cancer in general is a very shitty thing, and we talked about him being at my debut ever since I started in the sport. He said, well, I will be at your UFC debut. Unfortunately, he couldn't do that. He was in the middle of treatment, but he came to my sophomore outing in October. He was able to attend that fight at the Apex. He's doing better now. He's still in a lot of pain all the time, which sucks to see, but he's doing better and still in recovery.
Okay. Well, we wish him the best. Hopefully he makes a full recovery. By the way, El Jefe, great nickname. You and Dylan Dennis share that nickname. So I'm just joking. I'm joking.
I had that nickname first, bro.
I know.
I've had that nickname since I was 14 years old. I had my first kickboxing fight at 15. I already had that nickname. Way before that Queef had it. He's not even a fighter. When's the last time he fought?
We are approaching, I was just thinking of this morning because I was thinking of the nickname. We are approaching the 3-year anniversary of his last fight. It's pretty remarkable. But why El Jefe? What does that mean? Why'd you get that nickname?
Yeah, El Jefe.
El Jefe.
I got that from my.
I've exposed myself.
Yeah. I get both though. El Jefe, kind of like play on words with my name. So
yes.
My childhood best friend's dad, which both of them have passed away at this point. So RIP to them. But his dad, my dad would take me over to his house every morning in elementary school and middle school, and they would give me a ride to school. And he was a Mexican guy, and he would always say, your name in Spanish, since J's are pronounced as H's, would be Jefe or Jefre. And that's not accurate at all. Like in Spanish, my name would still be Jeff, you know, but it was just his way of kind of like trolling me. So he'd call me Jefe or Jefe or Jefre. And that stuck, man. That stuck. My buddies throughout middle school would all call me Jefe, Jefre, just kind of messing around. Eventually that translated into Jefe, like in high school. So people would call me Jeff or Jefe. And on the wrestling team, the same thing. Everyone would be like, yo, Hefe, Hefe. And I started training MMA at 14. And my coach, Jason High, vet, UFC vet, World Series vet, PFL vet,
Yep.
Dream vet, everything vet, would call me Jefecito. And he said, I'm not calling you Hefe until you're 18. You can't be the boss until you're 18. Because the literal translation of Hefe is boss or the boss. So he stuck true to his word. He didn't call me Hefe until I was 18. And then when I turned 18 at my amateur debut, and he called me Hefe. And that's how I got that nickname, man. It's just play on words with my name, Jeff, Hefe, and then the little translation, the boss. Like right. I'm running things when we're fighting. I'm the boss in there. I'm running the operation.
Well, I'm a big fan, man. You are the boss. You're doing great. 3-0 in the UFC. Had the Contender Series win as well. 11-2 overall. You're still so young. You have so much more career left, and I look forward to the day that you fight for that belt, and we could play that clip of you predicting that you'll be a champion. Well done on the win. Well done on everything you said before and afterwards, my friend. You're a great role model, and looking forward to having you back on in the future.
Oh, man. Thank you, brother. You're talking to my teammate later, Brandon Moreno. Tell him I said what's up.
I will.
Thank you, brother.
I will. There he is, Jeff Molina. Kind enough to join us, part of the youth movement on today's program. 2 New Jersey natives back-to-back on the show.